Hello everyone! Today I want to address myself to all new players that are trying the Elder Scrolls Online for the very first time. Indeed, Tamriel Unlimited had been released, and very soon in June we will see the Elder Scrolls Online release on console. That means that there's a lot of players that are joining us. First of all, welcome in the Elder Scrolls Online community, welcome in the game. I hope you will enjoy yourself. And to help you to discover this very particular game, I would like to give you some tips to start your experience and to fully enjoy and embrace what the Elder Scrolls Online is. Those tips are made with my own experience of the game and my perception of the game, and it might not be what everyone else is feeling or find important to share. I think that the Elder Scrolls Online is a very unique game with its own flavor, with its own taste. It's not at all like your usual MMO, and you will see that there's many features that you find in other games like World of Warcraft 3, Rift, Aeon, or even Guild Wars 2, and that you don't find in the Elder Scrolls Online. It's also quite a different experience than the classical Elder Scrolls games. We can say that the Elder Scrolls Online is a hybrid between two genres. The classical Elder Scrolls role-playing game that you play alone, and a MMORPG where you meet a lot of new players, you see your character progress, and you do group content and even endgame content if you want. So, I hope those tips that I have classified in different categories will help you. Tip number 1. Add-ons. This is probably one of the most asked questions. What add-on should I use? And my answer to this question is none. It's not like I'm against add-on, but for the very first time when you play the Elder Scrolls Online, I really strongly recommend you to embrace the experience as it is. Play the game as it's intended, with the eyes of a newborn, and do not alter the experience by downloading add-ons that will make the game look more like your usual MMO. I know that for a lot of players, especially old MMO players, you will feel a bit confused or uncomfortable to play with such a bare interface. There is not much information on your screen. No minimap, no combat log, no buff and debuff icons, nothing to tell you how much DPS you are doing. But this will allow you to play the game in a different way and to feel it, to live it, with your guts and with your heart, and not analyzing all the information that comes to you. Just be in the adventure, become your character, and swing your sword or your axe or cast your spell, and just live the experience as it was real. You can do this with the Elder Scrolls Online, and you cannot do it with any other MMO. So I really recommend you to try that and to see it's something that you can like and enjoy even later on. And if you don't, well, you still can add some add-ons, but at least you will have tried it. And then you can choose which add-on you really want to add, which add-on are really needed for you to enjoy the game. You may have missed something otherwise. Tip number 2. The choice of race and class. First of all, the choice of class doesn't really matter for the role you want to perform. You can be the role of your choice with the class of your choice. So you can start to drop all archetype in the garbage and to think outside of the box. If you want to be a sorcerer tank, you can, as well as a Nightblade caster, a Dragon Knight healer, or a sneaky Templar with a bow. What matters in the choice of class is what you enjoy, what kind of spell amuse you, how you feel it. So my suggestion to choose your class is to either read a bit about them on a forum or a website and see what kind of spell attract you, or if you're courageous, make several characters and try them for several levels before to decide I want to play this one or I want to play that one. There's so many possibilities, so many choices to create an interesting and attractive build, and it can fit totally your own game style. So what matters more than the class is how you build your character. That's more important. But remember that you do not have only the class abilities. You also have the weapon skill line or the world skill line, which bring you the vampire or the werewolf or the soul skill line, or the guild skill line, like the mage guild and the fighter guilds. All of those skill lines will give you several abilities and several passives that you can choose from and play them differently to organize and create your builds that will help you to perform the role you have choose for yourself. But the class itself doesn't matter so much. It just adds some flavor to the fight. However, the choice of race is a lot more important. If you want to be a competitive player and if you want to create the best character, you really need to be attentive and to read the racial of each race, because that will matter on long term. Now, if you just want to enjoy the game, it's really not a big deal, and you can be a Khajiit healer and you will still be capable to level, to do dungeons, to do even veteran pledge or even challenging content in endgame, but maybe not top score, leader score, okay? But that's up to you, what you want to play and how do you want to play the game. To know more about the race, I really recommend you to read a very good guide written by Deltia that you will find on deltiasgaming.com. It will give you very good information about which race is the most interesting for which kind of character. Tips number 3. Crafting. Crafting in the Elder Scrolls Online is very fun, very exciting and very useful. You can really customize the gear the way you want, with the thread you want, the look you want and the bonus set you want. It's something you want to work early on. To level easily your crafting, you need to gain inspiration. You can do reads, it's like dailies that are found around the crafting station in every city. You can do that and you will gain a reward and some experience. But most of the experience you will gain by deconstructing items. So that's why I recommend you to have a crafting buddy. Someone of your guild, a friend, someone you trust. You will make a deal with this person. This person will send you every item you need for your crafting, and you will do the same for this person. So let's say you're a blacksmith, your buddy will send you all weapon and all plate armor that you will deconstruct, gain inspiration and find good materials to craft later. Crafting directly will give you less inspiration than deconstructing, so deconstruction is the most interesting. To find a lot of items to deconstruct, you also can do all content of your own level. For instance, Dark Encore, World Bosses, all of this will give you loot and items, or going into delves. You will find plenty of stuff into delves. Especially if you're a provisioner, you will find ton of ingredients and none of them will be stolen. So it's all good for you. You can also find treasure chest if you're lucky. Another tip is to work very early on your research. So to be able to craft an item with some thread, like infused, exploration or weighted, you need to learn it for each piece of the armor of each weapon. So it can take a while. The first research will take only a few hours, but more you advance, more you have research thread in a certain weapon or in a certain piece of armor, longer it will take, and in the end it will take 1 month. So you really need to work on that early to be sure to be a good crafter. The threads are very important because when you want to craft high game set item that you find, for instance, in the zone level 40, level 50, you will need to have learned 6 threads to be able to craft that set. and for each of your piece of armor or weapon. So, really important to work on your research. You can also take the talent in your crafting skill line to have more than one research by day. So if you can invest some skill point into this trait, it's very interesting. Tip number 4, inventory management. In every game I have issue with my inventory, and in the Elder Scrolls Online it's even worse, because you can loot everything, and now with the justice system you can steal stuff in the NPCs or in the houses, and it fills your bags extremely fast. You can increase your inventory capacity in different ways. First, you can go to the back vendor and you will upgrade your personal inventory. It costs money, and more you upgrade your bags, more expensive it is. And if it's your first character, it will be very fast too expensive for your wallet. You also have a personal bank account that's shared between all your characters, so it's account boons, not character boons. I suggest you to drop all your crafting item in your bank, because when you are in a crafting station you have directly access to all your crafting material. It doesn't need to be in your bag, so it's very interesting. So that's what I do. My bank is filled with crafting materials, and I can tell you that it has been full in no time. You can also upgrade your bank in the same way than your bag, so you can buy it more space, but it's very expensive. Another way to increase your inventory capacity is to go to the stable master and to take the riding lesson capacity. This will give you one more slot by day. It can be helpful, but then you need to sacrifice the speed or the stamina lesson you could have taken instead. So, several tips to help you with the inventory management. First, have a male buddy. So a bit like the crafting buddy, someone that you trust, a friend or a guildie, someone that you can send a mail with items to help you to empty your inventory. So you are in the middle of dungeon, your inventory is full, you open a mail, you drop several items in this mail, you send it to your buddy, and this buddy do not open the mail, it just press the return button without opening the mail. And that's a way where you can transfer a lot of items where you are in trouble. Another thing that I'm personally doing on my provisioner, I do not have enough space in my inventory anymore, so I'm keeping all provisioning ingredient in my inventory. It's very full, but every time I'm going in a dungeon, in a delve, in an adventure, and I'm getting new material, it will just store up in my inventory, and I do not need to transfer all the time to my bank. I suggest you to clean your inventory every time you have the occasion. Every time you go in a city, go sell your item that you do not need, deconstruct, store up your materials in your bank. Do that every time it's possible, because your inventory will be full in no time. And every day when you finish to play ESO, finish your day like that. So the next time you play ESO, you will have a character ready for adventure with a free inventory. Tip number 5. Guilds. In the Elder Scrolls Online, guilds are very important for different reasons besides the social aspect. A guild will give you access to a guild chat where you can socialize with your guildies, a guild bank to drop and take away some items, and a guild store where you can buy the guild tabar and what other guildies are selling. You can be part of 5 guilds, which is very different than other MMOs where you usually are allowed to only be part of 1 guild. There's only Guild Wars 2 that also allows their players to have 5 different guilds, but in Guild Wars 2 you were forced to represent your guild, or kind of choose one guild in particular to be able to chat with them or to have access to the bank. In the Elder Scrolls Online, you do not need to do that. You have access to 5 chat at the same time. You just have to press /G1, G2, G3, etc. to be able to chat with your guildies in the right guild channel, and you can access to each guild store and each guild bank by simply choosing which guild you want to check on the bank. In the Elder Scrolls Online, guilds are also replacing the auction house that doesn't exist in that game, and it's the only way where players can trade with other players beside the one-on-one direct trading. So when you're in a guild, you can have access to the guild store if this guild is a 5 team member or more. You can sell your item in that guild and your guildies can buy them. But also you will see guild stores spread all around the world, and those other players that are not part of the guild can go in one of the guild store and will have access to the guild store of that particular guild. They can buy items but not sell them. So my recommendation for you is to at least be part of one trading guild. The difference with a trading guild and a normal guild is that the trading guild's main focus is trading. They have a trading shop and they have the maximum member of active members to be sure that they have 500 people that are selling item regularly, and that their guild store is complete with a lot of item and that there is a lot of exchange. If you have the possibility, choose one guild that have a guild store in the main city. Wayrest for the Daggerfall Covenant, Eldenroot for the Almeri Dominion, and Mournhold for the Ebonheart Pact. These are the best places because they are next to the Undaunted daily pledge, and there is a lot of players that are checking those stores. A lot of players are a bit lazy and don't want to run around the world to check on all guild stores that exist, and they will always go to those one. So if you do not have a trading guild, try to see which guild have regularly a trading store in those places and contact them to see if you can be part of them. A lot of trading guilds are directly recruiting in zone chat. Those ones are of course not the best one. The best one usually do not need to recruit people, so they do not need to announce themselves in the zone chat. If you have a friend or someone that can get you into a good trading guild, take the chance to do that. Another tip for me that I find important is to be part of a guild that you like. As you have access to 5 different guilds, find the guilds that organize activities that you enjoy. If you like PvP, go in a guild that make PvP. If you like PvE, go in a guild that makes trial and stuff like that. And keep one guild free so you can organize your own guild with your friends, your real life friends or your internet buddies or whatever. As you have the possibility to be part of all those guilds without interfering with each other, just enjoy. A trading guild, action guild, and social guild. And my last recommendation is probably the most important one. As I said earlier, the Elder Scrolls Online is a unique experience, a unique game. In terms of storytelling, emotion, and immersion, you will not find any equivalent game on the market at this day. So I would really warmly recommend you to drop your old MMOs habits. Do not have your own music on. Do not have Netflix on the second screen. Do not try to rush through content to reach max level as soon as possible. Just let you the time to discover the game. Allow yourself to be immersed into this new world. Forget who you are, become your character. You are now in Tamriel, and it's time for you to live your own adventures.